Hi, I'm Cheryl, and today we're going to be making this lovely card. And I'm using the daisy punch from Stampin' Up for these flowers. I'm doing something a little different today. Usually I go through all the materials that I use before I start the video, but you know what? I'm going to just jump right in and start making the card, and of course everything will be listed down below that I used, and the sizes of the paper and all of that stuff. But you'll have to let me know if you prefer it that way, or if you like to see everything I'm using before I get started. I know when I watch videos, I go, oh my gosh, come on, let's get into the card already. So let me know if you like to see everything I'm going to use, or if you want to get right in with the card. So we're going to get right in with the card, and I hope I don't rummage around too much today making this. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our piece. We have a piece here of Wisteria Wonder cardstock, and that's 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I also have a bit of plastic because I'm going to kind of show you how to mix up color your embossing paste. This is embossing paste. Stampin' Up carries it now. So you want to get yourself a scoop. You see that scoop there? You want to get a scoop about like so. You don't want too much because you don't need a whole lot. And you put that down your plastic. I'm just going to scrape that right back in here because, well, I'll get to that when I get to that point. And then with your re-inker, and this is Elegant Eggplant re-inker, just put a drop of that in and then mix it up real well with your spatula until it's all incorporated in, and it's a nice purple color. I got a little carried away when I made my sample card, so I have a glob here of embossing paste, and you see it's about the size. That's how much I have left, so you know I got a little carried away. So I've got my stencil here. I'm going to put that down on my piece of paper, and off to the side here, let's see, I have a little piece of masking tape. I'm just going to tape that down there to help hold it in position. And you just spread this out. I kind of went on a diagonal from the top right hand corner down to the left bottom corner here. And just spread that all around. Let me get a little bit here, a little bit more. There we go. That looks good. That looks like plenty of that on there. Okay, then at this point you want to jump up, run to the sink, and wash off your stencil and clean your spatula, because once this stuff dries, it's really hard to clean it. And I didn't think ahead because I'm not doing things normal, but I've got my Stampin' Spritzer. I'm going to just spritz this real well in this little piece of plastic here that I have, and I'll go clean that up real good later. I always keep my little spritzer handy, and I'll grab a paper towel here and clean up my spatula. And this is very important. You want to clean your stuff off. Oh, and you see how much, look at how much I have left still. Look at all that in there yet. I could probably do another one of these cards. Okay, now this has to dry, and that's why I did this first. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it aside. The next thing I'll do is my flowers, and let's see, I have a piece of paper here, and this is just Whisper White cardstock, and I have my daisy punch, It's from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to punch out 4 flowers. 4 of these flowers. So let's see. There we go. There's 1. And it's hard to get out here sometimes. There we go. I'll get another one. And another one. And I need one more. Okay, so I've got those 4. And I'm done with that punch right now. And while I've got my punch out, I might as well do my label for the front of the card. I've got another little scrap piece here of Whisper White. And I'm using, let's see, this is from Label Me Pretty, the stamp set, and the label punch. And they come, I believe they're a bundle, and I'm just using the You're the Best stamp from there. So I'm going to get my Elegant Eggplant ink out, and I'll stamp my sentiment first. Ooh, got some on my finger. So I'll stamp my sentiment first. And I just wipe that a little bit. Set that aside. I'll clean that real well later. I'm going to close up the Elegant Eggplant for the moment. And then we'll take our stamp. And these are nice, or my punch. These are nice because I like this feature that they fold up. And you put that in here, and we're going to center our sentiment. So it's always best to do it in this order. Oop. Shifted. There we go. That looks good. Because it's so much easier, especially if you're working with one of these, I guess they call them clear mount stamps, but they got the rubber and the backing on them, and you really can't see where you're putting them. So it's always best to stamp the sentiment first and then line up your punch or your die afterwards. Okay, so I have that. That's ready. And while I'm punching, I might as well continue punching. And Stampin' Up! Came out with a new type of paper. It's a foil paper, and it's called Champagne. And it's a pretty color. It's somewhere, it's like in between gold and silver. Okay, so I need a bunch of these little flowers. I already have a few cut out. And those came from, let's see, they can come in a set. It's EK Tools or EK Success. Sometimes they call them one thing, sometimes they call them another. But they're mini, it's a mini flower and a mini retro flower punch. We'll be using the retro flower. That's this one. And I want a bunch of these. These are going to be like our jewels on our card. Let's see, that should be enough, I guess. How many have I got there? 6 of them? Yeah, that's good. So I've got those all punched out already. And I also used a 1/2-inch circle punch, and I punched 2 circles. Those are going to be our flower centers. So now I need to bring in my sponge dauber, because we're going to sponge these flowers. I'm going to start out with Wisteria Wonder. Where did I put that? There it is. So I'm going to take my Wisteria Wonder. Let me get these out of the way here. My sponge dauber. I like to daub it off on the side here on my my silicone mat, and then so I'm going to hold my flower. I'm not going to hold it in the center here. I'm going to hold it like part way up the flower, and that way it doesn't bend, because they get pretty narrow towards the center. And we're just going to do all the, oops, see, like that. We're going to do all the tips of these flowers with the Wisteria Wonder. Okay, that's one done. 3 to go. So in this card, we're going to be also using a die set that I found on AliExpress. It's A-L-I and then express.com, and there's all these. Oh my gosh, they have so many wonderful dies out there that are just that are like, I don't know, they come from places I don't understand the language. They come in these little plastic packets, not in a regular box or anything, but then usually they don't charge you for shipping either on that website. And it's like all different vendors, and I think a lot of them are China and like Malaysia and places like that. And they take a while to get here, but they're amazingly cheap. And over time I've ordered quite a few from them, and I've been very lucky. They haven't gotten lost in the mail or damaged or anything. So I guess there's always that. They could do that, I suppose. Okay, so we've got all the outside bits done. Now we're going to go back in, and I'm going to use the same dauber, because Wisteria Wonder is not a very dark color, and I'm going to use Elegant Eggplant for the centers. And just start in the center and go part way out the flower. You see, so I've left a little white area in the center. And I have to tell you, these look so pretty. They almost glow. I love these flowers in this color combination. Oh, but back to the AliExpress. So I got this to go kind of with my daisies. I thought it would be a nice accessory thing. And this, I'm going to be using the large flowers, and look how pretty those are. We're gonna jazz those up a little bit too. So I've already cut those out. I cut those out of lemon lime. That's one of the new Stampin' Up! In colors. Okay, so there we go. We got all of our flowers done with our nice dark purple centers. And gotta clean this mess up, or I'm gonna end up with this Elegant Eggplant on everything. Silicone mats are wonderful. Everything wipes off of them. I haven't had anything stick to them yet. Okay, so we might as well do these too. So let me get my stamp. And like I said, I cut these out of lemon lime, which is, it's a pretty bright color. But I'm going to edge them with Pear Pizzaz. So I'm just going to go in, and that just tones them down a little bit and gives a little something extra to these leaves, because they just look kind of flat and boring if I just left them the lemon lime all by itself. You see, I'm not taking any great precautions or anything with these. I'm just getting it down on the edges. You see? Oh, let me get, there we go. Well, let me do the other one. Okay, there we go. They got those done. And I'm going to trim these stems off because these stems are very long. Just snip them off because those are going to go underneath. So, let's see. What else do we need to do? Let me bring back these little half-inch circles. I'm going to set these down on my silicone mat face down. And in my original card, I have a set of styluses, the ball styluses for shaping flowers. And I used my tiniest little ball and just went, I started out in the center here and just dot it all around to give some texture, and it's shaping this now into like a little dome shape. You see? There we go. Oop. There we go. So I'm going to do that to both of them. And if you don't have a ball stylus like I have here, then, I don't know, look around, see if you can't find something, the little small round-ended something or other, and you can use that. I actually have a skewer here that I used to use before I got the ball styluses, and I sanded the tip of it down. And you could do that. You could use this. And if you say, oh, I don't have any sandpaper, well, you know what, I bet somewhere in your house you have a nail file, emery board kind of thing. So you just take that and just round that tip off like this. See, until it's nice and rounded. And use that. And I'm going to bring all these little flowers that we punched out. I'm going to put them shiny side up. And in the center, and I'll use my skewer. I'll do like you guys might be doing. And right in the center, I'm just going to give them a good poke. And if you don't have this silicone mat has quite a bit of give to it. You might want to place yours on some like craft foam or something like that so that you can get good impressions on these. So I'm missing a flower. Oh, there it is, stuck on my finger. Ha! There. And let's see, we're moving along quite well here. Let me see how my stuff is drying here. There's a bit that's really got a big chunk on it. I'll just brush that off. And anywhere on the sides here that sticks out on the sides, you can just give that a little brush off too. And that's pretty dry. So that's good we did this first, isn't it? So I think we can start assembling our card. So I have some elegant eggplant cardstock that's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored and folded at 4 1/4. That's our card base. And then I have another piece of this this champagne foil, and I've cut that, let's see here, 5 by 3 3/4, and then yes I did, I cut the center of it out. I cut it out with a rectangular die because I'm gonna be able to use this some other time. That section that I cut out. And foil can be kind of expensive, so you want to get the most use out of it as you can. And I'm just going to all around the edge of the Wisteria Wonder piece that I have my my embossed design on. Just put some snail, and then I'm going to line that up very carefully and lay that down on my piece of champagne. And oh, that's getting to be so pretty. And now, let's see, I wanted to pop this up, so I'll get my dimensionals out. Oh, by the way, we have mini dimensionals now too. I got some mini dimensionals. Of course, they wouldn't be for doing this, but I just thought I'd mention it. They do come in handy at times, the mini-sized ones. But I took the backing off of one of these, so I'll use that. There we go. So now I have all my dimensionals on here. If you give them a little poke with your nail, that helps to be able to get under there and peel that off. I find these little things all over the place. They fall on the floor in the craft room. They get stuck on the bottom of my feet. I think my animals play with it. Play with them too sometimes. My entire house is like a cat toy. Okay. So now we've got those all peeled off, and I'm going to center that on the front of my elegant eggplant. Okay, the next thing that will go down is our leaves. I'm gonna put some Tombow on these. We're not doing anything special to these leaves. We're not shaping them or anything. And one I'm going to put up in this corner and have it go outside the borders of the card front. But you don't want it to go past the edge of your card. You want to be able to put this in an envelope. Well, maybe not, because there is quite a bit of dimension to it. But you don't want it to go past the edge of your card. So there we go. There's my other leaf there. And see, I positioned that just a little differently than the one up top here. And we'll want to assemble our flowers. So we'll get our big flowers in here. And what I did, just turn them up. Turn these all up. And then I just used a Sharpie and curled them. Curled all the petals over. So nothing too extravagant here. And do that on the next one. Do all 4 of these like this. And we're going to group 2 of them together on each of the flowers, so it's a nice full flower. When you assemble your flowers, I'm going to use my my Snail Adhesive. If you have a glue gun, you want to use that, then that would be my second choice, or actually it would be my first choice, but I was just too lazy to heat my glue gun up and use that. But I'm going to use my snail because I have found that if I use a liquid glue, unless I sit and hold these flowers together in the position that I want them, they tend to shift, and we want the petals to be offset. So let me put a little bit of snail in the center here. And I'll take my other flower and offset it like this. This is what I'm talking about. See, well, I didn't get it on there right. Let me see if I can peel that up without damaging it. You want your petals. There we go. That's perfect. Now, you want your petals offset. Look how pretty that flower is. Ha! I just love these flowers. I'm going to have to do more of these in different colors on other cards. Okay. Yeah, I find that, yeah, I was saying, if I use a glue, unless I just sit and hold it until the glue takes hold, then they shift on the bottom flower, and they tend to shift and they overlap and they're not offset perfect, and that just bugs me. Okay, so now we can put these down on our card. So I'll put a little Tombow on the back. I'm just going to put my finger underneath here. You could use glue dots too if you want. I have some glue dots around here somewhere. And I'm going to put this, and remember we're going to put a, well, you wouldn't know, but we're going to, maybe you wouldn't know, but we're going to put a little banner or a little tag or whatever you want to call it down here. So we want to leave room right here. So I'll put my flower kind of up this way, so it leaves some room for that. And put the little petals up. I'll fiddle around with them a little bit. And put some on here. And put that one right there. And now we can put our centers on. And I just took one of my little dimensionals and very carefully put it in the center here. Oh, I should have used my little mini ones, huh? Well, oh well, too late now. So I have my dimensional on there, and I'm just going to set that right in the center here. I'm not going to push it down yet because I want to make sure I have it in the center. There we go. And I'm just going to lightly press it down. You don't want to take all those nice little dents we put in it out. And then on this one, and that one looks good right off the bat here. Okay. These little flowers want to stick on me, and I appear to have lost one again. Oh, there it is way over here. It probably stuck on my arm. Okay, so this is looking pretty good so far, isn't it? Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'll put my little banner or tag or whatever. I think it's called a tag. Let me look. Label. It's a label. That's what it is. And I want a little something on the edge here. So let me see. Where did my dauber get to? There's my dauber that had the elegant eggplant. I'm just going to put a little of that around the edges. Okay, and dimensionals on this one. Put one there, and I'll put one in the center. Maybe I'll put one up here and there. We'll put 4 of them on there. Peel those off. And I'm going to tuck that just underneath the flower petals a little bit there. You still want to be able to read all of it. So there we go. So that's on now, and we're ready for our bling. This is our bling. This is our, like your jewels or your rhinestones, these little flowers that we punched out from that champagne foil. Those and the flower centers here. So let's see. I want to put one down here, I think. So I'll put a little dab of Tombow there. And again, you could use glue dots on these if you wanted to. I'm going to sneak that in there. And we're not done with these little flowers yet, though, because we're gonna do something special with them. And let's see, I'll put one up here, put one there, one right about here, one here, and we'll see how that looks. I want to save one because I want to put that on our label. Now I know what it's called. I can call it what it's supposed to be. Let's see. I need to get under this flower here. Put that one there. And we'll slide this one. Am I getting off camera? I am a little bit. And we'll slide this one in under here. And where should I put the other one? Well, maybe I'll put it up here. You want them to be kind of random. You don't want them all lined up like a bunch of little soldiers all in a row. Okay, and that can go there. And the last one goes right here on the label. Okay. Now we have in the center of all these little flowers, we could leave them like that and that would be fine, but I want a little something more on the inside. Oh, let me get this one out from under. I got to get that underneath the flower. And see, it's perfectly beautiful like it is, but I wanted a little bit more. So I thought I needed something in the center of the flowers. So I tried this Sharpie. I have a purple Sharpie, and I used that, and that was nice, but I thought I can do better than that. So if you watch my videos, you know I just love these Nuvo drops. So I got, let's see, this is Violet Galaxy, and it's the pearlized ones. And I'm just going to put a little dot of this in the center of each of these flowers. Get it under there. Give them a little dot in the center there. And then, for a little extra, I'm going to put 3 dots here. We want these two to be kind of on the smaller side, but even. We want them the same size, and then this one I want bigger. So the trick to using these is that you want to hold your applicator straight up and down. You will watch the tip. You see that tip there? You want to squeeze out some of the product. Do you see that coming out? And that's what you touch. You touch that to the paper. You don't touch the tip to the paper. You touch the stuff. Whatever you want to call it. Now I'm tapping that down and I'm going to listen. And it'll make a little huffing noise, and I know that all my product is down out of my applicator, and there's going to be much less chance that this will be clogged the next time I go to use it. That's a good thing to do with any of your things that have a little nozzle on them, all your glues and everything. Okay, so there's our card. And it says, "You're the best." And that could be used then. Put a piece of Whisper White on the inside here with, it could be for a birthday or a thank you or just a friendship card. And that's the card for today. So make sure you let me know if you like to see all the products that I'm using first before I start the card, or if you like it better this way. And if you've liked the card, then hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, hit subscribe. If you'd like to buy any of the Stampin' Up! Products I've used today, then you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website, and that's listed below. And as always, I will have all the products I used today, and I did use a lot of different things. So, y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.